So a couple days ago I bought a dust collector, and last year I built an automated dust collection system for a buddy who has a larger collector in a bigger shop. I decided, since I'm going to have a dust collector in my garage, I might as well have the same automation, definitely so that I can test and find the bugs in the software. Yeah, that's why. Anyways, so what we have is my the current detection unit, which when you plug any tool into it, what this is doing is using a current transformer to look for any amperage on the outlet. If it detects amperage, it will then open the blast gate and turn the dust collector on. There's a 2.4 gigahertz radio in here, and they communicate over wireless. And you can have multiple tool controllers all asking the dust collector to turn on and off. This here is a switch, or an override switch. Obviously it's a switch. That way if you're going to make a whole bunch of cuts, you can just flip it on and the dust collector will stay running for as long as you leave the switch in the on position. So I will pop this off here and show you a quick demo of what it looks like when the gate opens and closes. And then see if we can stick this in there and get the other side with the motor on it. And then we've got the miter saw itself. If you turn the saw on, you get the same thing. The dust collector will turn on. It turns on generally in about a quarter of a second. So it's on and up to speed about the same time as the saw blade. And here I'll turn a little so you can see if you can see the dust collector out of the corner of the camera. So that's it. That's all that excitement. And then I'll take you over here and you can see what the collector side looks like. So over here, what we have is a small 8x8 plastic box. Here is the main brains to the system. This is a custom circuit board I printed. It uses an ATmega 328, which is the same CPU you would find in an Arduino. I program it using Arduino Studio. And the header, so you can program it just like a Arduino Pro Mini. Up here we have a 5-volt power supply. This one's kind of large. It's a 2-amp power supply. I didn't have any smaller ones to use. Down here we have a Raspberry Pi. This is used to emulate the switch like you see on the other tool, and it just asks the dust collector to turn on. The reason for this is we can use integration with Amazon's Echo and the Alexa voice assistant and ask it to turn the collector on. Then over here we have a 5-volt relay which controls the contactor. This is a double pole contactor rated up to 30 amps. So this could be used to switch a 240 volt collector. This one I only have wired for 110. It can do both, but since it's wired for 110, I'm still using, or even though it's wired for 110, I'm still using both poles because it was easier to wire it up just to run the neutral and the load through it, even though you don't really need to. Coming out of it, we have the extension cord, or the controlled end of the extension cord, which the dust collector plugs into, and you just leave the dust collector turned on all the time, and this will decide when it needs to be turned on and off. Then we plug the other end of the extension cord in over here, and everything works. I used a 12 gauge appliance cord and just cut it in half, and that's what I used for where I got this from. So I'll give you a quick demo of Alexa. Alexa, turn on collection.
All right, what device?
Collection. Now the challenge is very loud in here. I'll try asking her to turn it off, but odds are good it probably won't. Alexa, turn off collection. Yeah, it didn't get it. Collection. If I walk up close to it, it generally ends up working, but it doesn't work when I'm shouting at the Echo from all the way across the garage. But it works. My plan was to make a timer so that you could say turn on and it would default to a minute or 2 minutes. And if you wanted to control how long in minutes, I would emulate being a dimmer switch. So he would just say set collection to 3%, and that would turn it on for 3 minutes. And if you say set collection to 10%, that would be 10 minutes, and it would just automatically turn off at the end, so you don't have to fight with the dust collector, making it difficult for Alexa to hear you. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all. Have a good day.